Okay, you want to come over here with your sister, Em? All right. Hi everybody, today we're going to do a nest change for our bluebirds. And today I've got my helpers, Emily and Addison, and they're going to help me change our bluebirds to make sure that they do well in their nest. We're going to be opening a super gourd. This super gourd actually had tree swallows in it not long ago, and now it's got bluebirds in it. So I'm just going to unscrew the lid. I'm going to look in, and I've got some little tiny babies in here. And what I've got, make sure we've got our supplies of dried grasses. We're going to use this to replace the nest. We've got an empty bucket, and that's what we'll put the old nest in. I just have a scraper in case you're doing a bluebird change in a nest box. Have a scraper so that you can scrape down the sides and get the material off the bottom of the nest before you put the fresh nest in. I won't be able to use this today in the super gourd, but this will come in real handy if you're using a regular bluebird box. I also have a bucket and a towel. The bucket has some dry grasses in it, and this is where I'm going to put the babies for their safety while we're changing the nest. And the towel is to cover it once we get the babies in here to make sure that the sun doesn't beat down on them while we're doing what we're doing. So, I've got to get on this side. Here's our first baby, and we are going to check him for some blowfly larvae. Oftentimes the blowfly will lay their eggs in the bottom of the nest, and the larva will attach itself and feed on the baby bird. So I'm going to look under the wings and on the belly, and this baby seems to be just fine. So if you put him in the bucket very gently, please. Take the next baby out, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to turn him over gently, look under his little wings, and look on his belly, and no blowfly on him. Very gently put him in the bucket, please. More. Turn it over and look for the blowfly larva. And the blowfly larva here. Okay, thank you. And these babies look really good. I don't see any sign of blowfly. It's also a good opportunity to check to make sure that all your babies are healthy and that there's no ants in here either. And that's all we have is 4 babies. So now I'm going to cover the bucket to protect them, set them aside, and I'm going to take my empty bucket and just pull out this nest material. Because it's a super gourd, there is a lot of it in here. I'm also looking while I put this in here to see sign of blowfly, and sure enough, there is some blowfly larvae in here. Tiny ones, big ones, and these will just, if I can get one up, put it on my hand and show you. This is a blowfly larva, and what that will do is crawl up and attach itself to the underside of a baby bird, and it will just, it's a parasite, and it will feast on the baby bird. And they can actually kill them, so we want to make sure we get them out. Get as much of this material out of the bottom of this gourd as I can. So that our babies have a good chance of survival and fledging. Okay, very dry before we put them back in the nest. So I'm going to take some initially and just fill up the bottom of that gourd. And you would do the same in a box. And with these little grasses here, I'm just going to kind of spin them around to try and make a little round nest, because those babies just came out of a nest cup. Just spin it around to make... I can't do it as good as Mama Bird did. But inside this little nest cup is where I'm going to return those babies. If you girls can bring the bucket of babies back over, I'm going to stick them right back in the nest cup. Thank you. All right. Hand me a baby and I'll put it in. Very gently pick him up. All right. We took 4 out. We got to make sure we put 4 back in. There's 1. Thank you. 2. 3. Very gently put them back in the nest. And 4. Thank you, girls. And here's our 4th baby. Back in the nest if you want to take a look inside. And that's how you do a nest change.